You know what must be done. Correct your mistakes. Falcon apologises for his short sight, and he's paying for this with an internal grind in the Motherlode. Welcome to Falcon, my hammer-locked regular man. He's on a quest to collect all of RuneScape's hammers and hammer-related items. The rules are simple. In combat, he can only use hammers, and he is restricted to the hammers he has unlocked. First hammer of each type cannot be obtained through the Grand Exchange, trades, or shops if it's possible for them to be obtained through other methods. Once that first hammer has been collected, it is considered unlocked and can be used as freely as he wants, as well as obtaining duplicates from the Grand Exchange or other sources. He is hammer locked. He is Falcon. And with that, peace has been restored, and only with 1 KC. So yeah, I'll start today with some more of the easier hammers to obtain, but before we do that, here is a quick skill check. I've been AFKing some more skills such as mining and fishing, and that's for preparation of Recipe for Disaster. The 2 skills which are going to cause major problems for that is our range and magic. I've got a plan in mind on how to level up our magic, but for range it's going to be a bit awkward. One of the methods is going to be pest control, as we can use rewards from that to give us some range XP. Some of the other methods include using experience lamps, tomes from the Dragon School, and Tears of Guthix. In fact, you can also get reward lamps from random events if you have all the collectibles for that random event, should also help with doing that a bit more quicker. But all of them are problems for another day. For now, let's get some hammers. Let's start off with our old friends of Birthorpe Guards, as they do have an opportunity to drop us a Mithril Warhammer. And that's a Mithril Warhammer! That's nice. New upgrade. Next stop, crime. Just a quick smashing out of X marks the spot, because we can slap this experience straight into ranged to quickly get us to ranged level 4. Right, next stop, Coend. We are going to want Hosidious Favour for 3 of the rewards. At 15%, we can steal from fruit stores. I personally find this as a quick way to level thieving from level 25 onwards. At 50%, we have Protected Patches, which is just useful for any farming we want to do. And lastly, at 100%, we can use Hosidious Kitchen, which is close to a bank and has an increased success rate for cooking. As we will need level 70 cooking for Recipe for Disaster, this is something I cannot sleep on. So I thought, let's knock out 100% favour now, so I can AFK cooking as of when I need to. Okay then, so now it's time to hand in all of our salty compost. There we go, look at that shoot up. So that leaves 10% to do the quest. I may do that just now, only because that means it opens up AFKing some cooking by using the Hosidious Kitchens. So that's a quick run through of Client of Coend, giving us 2 XP lamps, which takes our range up to a nice level 10. Honk dust neck. And with that, we can do some AFK cooking. And I guess we've earned another cheeky agility level as well. Right then, so our next plan, now we've got the Hosidious Favour, is to just keep stealing fruit. We need 38 thieving to pickpocket master farmers, so that's what we're going to strive towards, and then hopefully we'll get some hammerstone seeds very quickly. And that's level 38 thieving, which means only one thing: more crime. I've got it! It's finally there, the hammerstone seed. So what I can now do is go and find a hops patch and start growing some hammerstone. Since it's now unlocked for the account, it does mean I can buy some from the Grand Exchange. So I'm going to find an accessible hops patch for us, get some planted, and then we'll go and visit that once it's ready to be picked. So after doing some Slayer tasks on my main, I realised there's a hammer which we completely forgot to buy from a Slayer Master. So while we're in the area, how about we go and grab that right now? And that's another hammer down. Brilliant. And to make sure we're getting most out of all of our XP lamps, I'm going to go and smash out those quests right now, which rewards us with some range experience. So there are a few quests that we can do which rewards us with ranged experience. Our main barrier so far is our current range level to complete quests as well as skills. At the moment, we can only do Death to the Durgashan and Horrors from the Deep. With our combat being locked to hammers only, the boss fight in Horrors is going to be beyond difficult without further combat leveling and better gear. which leaves our only current option to be Death to Verdurgishin. There are other quests which rewards experience in a skill of your choice, but almost all of these need to be in a skill above 30 or more. These are quests we could potentially visit in the future, since we need a range level 40 for Recipe for Disaster. For now, we will need to settle on Death to Verdurgishin and get creative in getting range to 25 so we can use pest control to level it further. So with the tile markings on, it seems to be recognising Zanuck as my player model, which is interesting. Never thought it would do that before. I'm out here trying to convince people I'm not named Ham Falcon after Ham, and here I am wandering around the hideout again. I honestly meant it when I said I'm living the consequences of my actions every day. Despite my name, I promise you, I had nothing to do with this. Let me just pick that up, hide that away. Don't mind me, just correcting my namesake. Eat shit, Sigmund. And that's Death to Verdurgishin done. And that's range to level 17. Ideally, we want to get to range level 30 so that we can start using the experience lamps from the achievement logs. But as it stands, I don't think we can do any of the other quests which give us range XP. So it's either wait it out, or I start going in pest control. So we'll leave it there for now. At least it means we'll get 170 experience from whenever we get any experience lamps going forward. And I guess we just have to wait until range level 30 until we can start doing some of those achievement logs and use the XP lamps from that. Okay, the fruits of our labour are ready. That's it. That's our Hammerstone hops done. So obviously, I'm never going to turn these into stout. It's all about seeing how many Hammerstone hops we can get stored in our bank. Seeds are quite cheap, which is good. The marigolds are a bit pricey at the moment. They're going for about 500 GP each, which is a bit ridiculous. But I imagine the price will drop eventually. Obviously, all of that won't mean much once we've actually built up a bank, but so early on into this account, it is a bit tasking. But yeah, let's pay my man over here to protect these hops, and we'll come and collect these next time we're in the area. I'm just looking at this at the moment. It's a bit crazy. Hammerstone seeds, 3 GP each. The hops, 668 each. It's probably why the marigolds cost a bit at the moment, but that's a bit crazy. Bit crazy. If you want to make some early game stonks, you got a low farming level, why not? Why not give that a try, yeah? So we're going to start another quest, but once we've done it, I'm going to be getting involved in some content which I've never done before. So we're going to be trying something new while working towards another hammer. Let's see how this goes. By completing below Ice Mountain, we will gain access to the ruins of Camdozal. I think that's how it's pronounced. In these ruins, there is a mini-game of sorts, where you can take part in different skilling activities to gain Baronite shards, then access a vault. We are here for ulterior motives, however, the Imkando Hammer. By mining the Baronite rocks, we can gain Baronite deposits, which we can then proceed to smash open on an anvil within the ruins. By doing so, we have a 1 in 300 chance in receiving a broken Imkando Hammer. Then by using 1250 shards, we can fix it. This unique hammer has a nice perk of being used for activities such as smithing, construction, and temporals, like a regular hammer, while being wielded, resulting in freeing up an inventory slot. We will without a doubt have a use for this hammer in future skilling activities, but for now, it's just another goal in our hammer quest. Right then, let us quickly mine some of these pillars. That's job a good un. And that's below Ice Mountain done. We can start on that next grind. Okay, so first things first, there's a nice little item for us to pick up here. There we go, brilliant. And from what I understand, I want to mine these Baronite rocks. I can then also send some of these items into some kind of grinder. And once I've got the broken hammer, I believe it's the shards I have to use to repair the hammer. So let's see how long this will take us. Okay, so give or take, it's took us about 10 minutes to get a full inventory, which has resulted in 432 Baronite shards. So 1,250 we need shouldn't take too long. What's going to take a while is getting the hammer. It's a 1 in 300 drop rate, so I guess, give or take, probably about 10 inventories worth we've got to do. That's an estimate. That's an estimate. But 10 inventories worth, and we should be able to get what we need. We've also got this ancient treatise, which we can hand in to the Rock Museum. That'll give us some kudos and some money. More importantly, we're going to keep on getting extra hammers just to slap in there. But yeah, I don't see this taking longer than an hour. We'll see if I still feel that in 15 minutes time. Which should be relatively nice and short. We'll see, we'll see. So I wasn't paying attention to my monitor, and it turns out I've got the broken hammer. So now all we need is a total of 1,250 shards, and this job done. It's turning into a nice and short grind. And after just 40 minutes, we have ourselves another hammer. However, we're not done yet. Come with me to a bank. Let me show you why. So you can get multiple incando hammers dropped. And while this exists here, an empty slot of a broken one, our collection is it's a bit fake. So I guess we're here a bit longer until we can get another broken hammer. The grind must continue. I'm going to take this moment to do a very essential self-plug, a call to action as those in the business call it. If you have enjoyed this series so far, why don't you consider giving us a little sub? I will also be starting streams both on YouTube and Twitch thanks to the new multicasting rules on Twitch. Trailblazers would have already started by the time this video is out, and my first stream since my long 5-month break would have been and gone. This will be my first leagues I would have ever taken part in, and I would appreciate having you join me in my journey and tell me how much I suck. That's enough self-fellatio for the moment. It's time to get back to the grind. Another day, another grind to try and get the broken hammer. No luck, so the grind must go on. Still no broken hammer, however we do have enough shards to increase our luck. Hopefully, this will speed things up a little for us. And after an additional 2 hours, 3 hours in total, we still don't have another broken hammer, but we can get the permanent mining buff. After looking at the forums, people are saying it's took about 4+ hours for them to get their first hammer, so I think we was extremely lucky getting our first one in roughly an hour. So we're probably looking at a total time of 5+ hours in order for us to get both our hammers. Yeah, we'll keep on cracking on with this grind and hopefully we'll get it soon. That's a Baronite Mace Head, not what we're after, but it's something I guess. And in just under 4 hammers, we've finally got it. Grind well done, grind over. Now I've got to consider what it is I'm going to do next. I guess now is the best time if ever to introduce the exception clause to this hammer locked account. There is going to be quests and content that I will need to complete in order to gain access to some of the hammers we need. However, there will be barriers that we cannot simply just smash through with a hammer. For example, the Vampyres in the My Week quest line can only be defeated by silver weapons, none which are hammers. We will need to complete this quest line in order to get access to the Hallowed Sepulchre and the Hallowed Hammer. What the exception clause means is if it's impossible to complete a quest or piece of content unless we break our account rules and there are additional hammers behind that content, then we may make an exception only during that quest or content. The key phrase here is if it is impossible. If we are able to keep our account rules, but it means taking an extremely difficult approach to do it, then struggle we must. This will mean none of our hammer related content will be locked away from us while still maintaining integrity to the account. And that's Nature Spirit done. Time for In Aid of My Key. And that's In Search of a My Week done. Next stop, In Aid of a My Week. The next hammer we've been working towards is the Gather Hammer. This is a weapon which I can guarantee, or at least the main accounters, have not once considered looking at. It is a 2-handed maul with stats similar to an adamant warhammer, and also attacks at 5 ticks rather than the usual 7 ticks of maul weapons. It also grants a 25% damage bonus against shades, and a 5% chance to deal double damage. Until we can get an Adamant Warhammer and Dragon Defender, or a Rune Warhammer, this will be our next best weapon. We can acquire the Gather Hammer by defeating Gather ranks during the In Aid of a My Week quest. Completion of a quest also brings us closer to Sins of the Father and the Hallowed Hammer, so we'll be knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. Can you see that? That's a brand new hammer. Gather ranks, I'm coming to take that shit. Here's me hoping that one day they'll release a silver hammer. It is a sickle though, and as we know through events in history, sickles and hammers symbolically go really well together. Now the real combat can begin between the hammer boys and this scrub here with a fucking sickle. Pfft. And there we go, we've got the gather hammer. So over the mithril hammer, this actually attacks faster. There's a bit more damage and attack stats. Let me quickly check this. So yeah, it does attack faster. How many ticks does it attack by? Let me quickly check that out. So this whole entire time I thought warhammers were 5-tick weapons. I'm incorrect, they're 6-tick weapons. This boy is a 5-ticker, so it attacks at the same speed as a longsword. Its stats are also similar to an adamant warhammer, so due to the metallic rules we've put in place, we can still use it because it's not a metallic weapon. And it also means I doubt we'll ever use the adamant warhammer since it's got a faster attack speed. I think the only time we'll ever switch to an adamant warhammer then would be because we get the defenders, but we're a while away from getting them yet, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, new weapon, new swag, let's keep things moving. And for anyone who wants to use that metallic rulings against me, theoretically we've just moved from mithril to adamant, so I'm within walls, so you know, fuck you. Okay, so now it's time for Ham Falcon's first temple track. So I'm thinking, going the shorter route, so we take on the 2 level 75 vampires, is probably going to be the smarter move. So that is what we're going to do. Okay, interesting turn of events. The other vampire seems not to care about us. So we can just deal with this one and then move on to the next. Okay, plan has flopped. The other vampire decided to come in on the action, then walk away. And now coming back in. What is he doing? Is he drunk? Is he okay? Okay, we've got the 1 vampire left. Ivan only has 2 pieces of food left. I don't think we've got this. Okay, he's on no food left. This Juvenite's on 29 HP. We've done it. Now I can remove this dirty fucking sickle from my hand. And that's in aid of my week done. With a cheeky little defense level to boost us up. And with that quest done, I think it's time for us to have a look at a little to-do list. So out of the list of the 44 hammer related items, we now have 17 of them collected. All of them relatively easy to collect compared to the rest of the list. I have 3 goals in mind, which I'm going to progress towards together. First, there is the ham joint. It has a 1404 chance of dropping from easy clue caskets. I can obtain these either from purchasing or catching gourmet imps and completing the easy clue scroll. I can also kill monsters for them, which I'm going to need to do anyways to level up my Slayer. Next is the Hill Giant Club. I can obtain this by getting a giant key from the Hill Giants. There is a 1 in 128 drop rate, or 1 in 64 drop rate if I brave the wieldy for the keys. I then must fight Obor, where there is a further 1 in 118 chance to drop the club. This is going to be a lengthy one, but will be good for building our combat stats and generating small wealth to buy the gourmet imps. The third goal is Recipe for Disaster. A lot of skilling, questing and gear upgrades are going to be needed for me to do this, as well as the infamous level 40 range. I can concentrate on the other 2 goals and wait for random events or for Tears of Guthix to train my range. While waiting for this to happen, I can concentrate on the other 2 goals and hopefully work towards a Addy and or Rune Warhammer in preparation. My contingency is going to be Barrows. I have no idea how long it will take to get to 25 range so we can grind at pest control. So if the other 2 goals are done before we can do Recipe for Disaster, I can try my luck at Barrows for Torag's Hammers. All of these will take some time, and with leagues coming out, it will take even longer. I'm pretty much preparing my excuses as to why you may not see Hammerlocked for a few months. I will, however, be streaming my league's progress here on YouTube and on Twitch, and I may make some summary videos in between about leagues. So don't worry, you won't be left without content. So I'm going to start cracking on towards those milestones, but in the meantime, if you've not hit that subscribe button yet, please do and like the video. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care!